Welcome back to Dramatic Evaluation. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the movie Archive. Please hook me up and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and please leave a comment. So this video is going to be hard spoilers. Spoiler alert. Talking about the whole movie. This was a movie that just really stuck with me, that I really enjoyed when I watched it, and stuck with me after, and I just keep thinking about this movie and just kind of wanted to talk about it and put it in a video. This is an older movie. It came out in 2020, so not super old, but not a very hot new release or anything. But this isn't like a formal review, and just want to like run through the plot and talk about stuff I liked and why it stuck with me and what the whole thing was about this movie. This movie stars Theo James. He's in a few, like several things. He's kind of becoming a known actor, but he kind of won me over in White Lotus. Seeing him in that, I think it was season 2. He was awesome. He did a great job. He was really charismatic, good actor, very watchable, and I definitely like this dude. I've seen him in a couple things now, and in this movie Archive, he just does a great job. He's a great actor. And then Stacy Martin is in it, who I don't know who she is, but she plays the other character basically in this movie. Yeah, I don't know what she's in. I didn't look her up. I've never seen her, but she was fine. She did a good job as well. Great writing and creative story in this movie. There's a unique, very effective twist at the end of the movie. Is kind of the whole thing of the movie for me. It's a bit of a slow burn. You're engaged and wondering what's going on and not bored really throughout it, but it is a little slow and takes its time to kind of get to the crazy twist at the end of the movie. It's got a great old school like style of sci-fi, like it's not like the futuristic kind of sci-fi. It's like how like Alien Romulus. I really liked how that movie kind of went back to the old school Alien, kind of like it's in the future, but it's like so far in the future that all the futuristic technology stuff is like looks outdated and like old. It's not like, I don't know how else to describe it besides that. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm talking about. It's just a real cool like vintage sci-fi kind of look and feel. But yeah, I'll just go over the plot real quick. Like, don't try to keep this quick. Try not to go in too much detail, but just basically what the movie is about and what happens. It's like a guy is like in a remote base, kind of out in the woods, out in the snow. Early on in the movie, he checks in with his wife on a FaceTime call, but it's kind of like fading. The signal's a bad connection. And then she's kind of like crying, and she's like saying it's hard for her to talk like this. And so you're kind of wondering, okay, like I guess he's away from her on some mission or some project at this base. So, and she's sad that they aren't together, and it's hard for her to do that. And so she doesn't want to talk or something like that. So you're wondering what's going on, why she's not there. He's got scars on his face. So you're kind of like wondering what that's about. And then there's a flashback to them driving in the car together, and so you're wondering, okay, did they get in a car accident? That's why he's got the scars on his face. And it cuts back and forth a little bit there, so we see what goes on with that later. So yeah, seemingly he's on some project here at this base. He's working on like building a robot. He's trying to build like a lifelike robot. He's done a couple. He's got 2 robots so far. He's kind of working on a third. The first one's very rudimentary and doesn't talk. It's very like brick style, like old school robot. The second one, still a little, not super lifelike, but it talks, it moves better, it is able to assist him with things. And then he's working on a third that looks a lot more lifelike and is straight up just an actor with like makeup and prosthetics and to make it look like it's an android. So he's kind of at the base doing his thing, working on these robots and stuff. Then another flashback shows more of the accident, and with his scars on his face, you assume, oh man, like she died in the accident and he survived the accident. Because then it flashes back to even before the accident, where they're having a conversation about this new technology or this new thing called Archive, where it allows a deceased person's consciousness to be uploaded into this thing. And for whatever reason, they say it's like analog. So for that reason, I don't really understand what that means. But because of that, there's only like a limited amount. So it's like 200 hours or something like that until it kind of fades out. And then so it doesn't last forever. It's a limited amount of time that you can call and interact and talk to the consciousness of the deceased person to kind of extend the end of that life and to be able to say goodbye and stuff like that. So he signs them up for it. She's hesitant, doesn't like the idea, and tells him to cancel it, but clearly he does not. At some point he has some breakthrough with the third android, or like he like breaks down the third android and uses its parts to create a fourth robot that is very lifelike, that straight up is just the actor with makeup and some kind of lines to make it look like it's an android, but it's just straight up the actor with like white makeup on. I think he in part uses like memories from the archive. So it turns out back to that, like when he was talking to his wife in the beginning, that's like you think that's the archive that he's talking to. She died in the accident. He's talking to her archive or whatever, and it's starting to get weak. That means the hours are running out that he's going to be able to talk to her. So he is basically trying to transfer her memories or the archive of her into this robot that he's building so that he can have her forever. And in trying to do that, he creates this fourth one that's they get along great. She likes him. They're having a good time together, and then it kind of gets real. She like lays in the bed with him at one point. He wakes up, he like freaks out, and he's like realizing like, this is insane. What the heck am I doing? Like, get out of here. She freaks out because of his freak out. And then meanwhile, the second robot, while all this is happening, is like getting jealous. Like clearly like there's a jealousy factor so you're kind of thinking like, it's going around like sabotaging stuff at the base, and obviously doesn't like the new robot taking his attention away and stuff. And so you could kind of start to think, oh man, is it going to be this like jealous rage, like revenge, whatever, where the second robot like kills them or like does some crazy stuff? And then ultimately, no, it just like walks out into the lake and kills itself in the lake because it's like sad. It's pretty crazy that's where that went. So after he freaks out and tells her to get out of there, when she gets in bed with him, the phone rings, she answers it, and it's Jules, his wife, calling for him. And the robot tells her like, don't worry about it, he's mine now, I will take care of him, you don't have to call anymore, type of thing. And he comes and grabs the phone. He's like, what are you doing? Like, what the heck? And then it kind of comes out that he wants to overwrite her with Jules' memories and all the archive information or whatever. And so the robot freaks out. It's like, I don't want you to overwrite me. Like, what the heck? Like, so she like pulls a gun on him. It's like a whole thing. But then he kind of talks her down and convinces her to do it. And so he does. And he like drills a thing into her head and like transfers the archive into her, I guess, or whatever. And then the phone rings after that, and he picks up the phone, and it's Jules, his wife, in the real world. And she says, oh, his archive is about to expire. This is going to have to be the final call. And she's really sad. So straight twist, where the whole time you're thinking she died and he's alive and he's been talking to her archive consciousness. Nope. It was the other way around. This whole time, this whole base that he's been at and the experiences that he's having, this is him in the archive. He died in the accident. Jules is in the real world. They had a daughter, so the daughter's with them. That's mentioned before, where she's pregnant in the crash, so that like adds a layer of sadness to that, thinking that she died in the crash because she was pregnant. But really, she had the baby. They've been visiting this archive place and talking to him, and now it's at the end of it where the archive is expiring, and so they have a sad goodbye, telling him, we can't talk to you anymore, and like just saying the final goodbye, and they love him and everything, and then they walk out of the facility, and that's it for him, and that's the end of the movie. So a bit of a slow burn getting there, but really impactful at the end. I did not see that coming with that twist. I thought it was very effective and very well done. I rated this movie at 8.6. It was a great concept, great execution. It really stuck with me, like I said. It felt like a Black Mirror episode, honestly. Like, just the whole vibe of it, the whole aesthetic and sci-fi aspect of it, and then just like the plot and like what it's about, and then the twist at the end. It just really felt like Black Mirror-esque. So if you like Black Mirror, I definitely check this out. Hopefully you've already watched it, because I just spoiled the crap out of everything that happens in the movie. But yeah, the twist at the end really got me. It was really effective. I loved it. And I just really recommend this movie. It really I kept thinking about this at this point, it's been like weeks after watching it. And it still pops into my mind, and I think about it from time to time. Because it just was a really solid sci-fi movie with a great twist, and it just was really effective. So that's it for kind of boringly talking about a movie that I liked and called The Archive. And hopefully you've seen that. And if not, go check it out for sure. Even if that spoiled it, it's still a good movie if you haven't seen it. So thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and please leave a comment. Stay tuned. Until next time,